Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Guess what? I'm back in the craft room. So if you watched yesterday's video on the vlog channel, you do know that I was not feeling well in the morning. But about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I got this sudden urge and burst of like, you know what? Devil be damned. I am actually just going to push through. My spirits picked up a little bit. My body hurt a little bit less. My energy spiked up a tiny bit. So I said, let's make the most of this day. So I asked Jim if he would come into the craft room with me, and I figured we'd take on a project that isn't very physically taxing on either one of us, but just tedious in its nature. So what we have here is I bought these 12 by 12 paper organizers, these buffalo checked ones. If you notice, I have a little buffalo check obsession in my craft room in my house. So I have these 12 by 12 paper stackers that I got at Hobby Lobby. I had two originally a few years ago. I got them and they were 50% off during a paper storage sale. But I wanted to get more, and of course, they weren't on sale. And of course, Hobby Lobby doesn't have a coupon anymore. But hey, what are you going to do? So we have 6 in total. Two that I had existing. One had paper, sort of like when I cut templates out for a project, I kind of try to keep the templates, especially when it's a project like making the paper roses or stuff like that, because this way I can reuse it over and over again. And then there's sometimes like where I make a really perfect looking shamrock, in my opinion, and I just want to like cut it out of cardstock and I want to reuse it over and over again. So that's what was in one, and the other one actually just had like wooden dowels in it. And I'm guessing from when I did my cleanup purge from when we took the craft room apart, and then I think that the plan was I did do some purging initially, and that's kind of what made this project go a little bit easier. The other storage containers I have are these ones from the Dollar Tree. They're from the Teacher's Square section, or the Teaching Tree, excuse me. I just combined two sections at the Dollar Tree. So they have these periodically, and depending on your Dollar Tree, you may have them in stock all the time if you're in one of the bigger stores. But I have 3 red ones, 2 clear ones, and 2 green ones. And I say clear, but white clear, because they're all transparent. They all are just colored. And what I decided to do was, what I originally had in the 3 red ones were my rubber stamps, my scrapbooking accessories. Like I kind of kept like a few things that we do in card making and scrapbooking, like grommets and eyelets and those types of things. Fasteners, like accessories you would put in your scrapbooking pages. And I also had, the third one was sort of like a mishmash leftover of some scrapbooking stuff, some card making stuff. And what I decided to do is just to basically divvy it up properly. I have the red ones now hold all of the rubber stamps. I took the scrapbook accessories out, and they basically have rubber stamps of all varieties from the Dollar Tree, including the ones that I've had myself. And what I ended up doing with the last two boxes of rubber stamps, what I ended up doing with the last one is I actually have some wax sealing things. Basically, on a old-timey English letter, there's they use pour wax on it and stamp it. Well, we had some that we had from my wedding. That's how I sealed the invitations at my wedding back in the day, the turn of the most recent century. And I had some, and then when I was gifted some for my birthday, with Hogwarts on them. So I ended up having quite a few of sealing wax things, and it's kind of something I've been watching a lot on TikTok lately, and I think I want to like get into it more, but we'll see how that goes. One thing at a time, Jerry. One thing at a time. So the other thing that I'm doing is I am writing down lists of, I got a notepad and a pen, and I'm trying to write down things that I see that I want to use in a project or in a craft. I'm trying to make it like organized, but also try to help me remember, because my memory is not as great as it was, even 6 months ago. And what I finally decided to do with the other clear ones is do the hole punches. So I have two clear ones that are green. That's a contradiction. To two green ones are going to have like the hole punches and rubber stampers and all those things that I have. Basically, they cut shapes out of paper. I have one that looks like a big circle, and then I have one that is a mason jar, and then ones that are little tags. And then I have other ones that is like this really cool kit that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby, that it kind of goes in, or in Jeri-Ann's, it kind of goes in the middle of paper. So if you had, like, say, a giant like scrapbook paper, and you wanted to cut a hole in the middle without using any other tools, you have this like little punch system. It kind of works really cool, and I have it in square and round. And I really like it, and I've used it on occasion, and I like it, so I'm gonna keep it. Um, Again, I did realize that I purged most of this stuff already. Now it's just a matter of actually organizing. Um, so I have those clear boxes all set to the side, and as I'm going to go through these other boxes and through my big paper stack, I'm going to decide whether or not I'm going to keep what I'm going to keep, and I'm going to get rid of what I'm going to get rid of. But it turns out I'm really not going to get rid of much because, like I said, I believe I already purged this. As we go through it, I realized there was a lot of things that I don't have any longer, and I just figured I must have given it away already, which is kind of good. This makes this project even easier. So one of the tips I guess I can give is that I'm separating my paper storage into basically any paper art. So I have like a whole box that just has napkins and paper plates. If you know, we use napkins for a lot of different crafts here on YouTube, but I was going to say here on my channel. We've covered mason jars with them. We've decoupaged boxes, all kinds of things. You can use them on candles, and the list kind of goes on and on. And I think we used paper plates to make a banner once, but I can't remember if that actually went up on the channel or if that was something I made for somebody. But basically, we're going to have a box full of those. Just all the napkins I've been collecting, napkins that were gifted to me, and so on and so forth. Then what I'm doing is I'm making temporary labels, because I will eventually print out labels once I get all of like the boxes marked, and I decide this is the way I'm going to keep it. I will go ahead and print out permanent labels. But for right now, I'm just ripping off little pieces of paper, jotting on there what's in there, and sticking them in the little label holder just to help me for the next step, until we get to the next step, which I'm pretty excited about, actually. So one of the 12 by 12 boxes is going to go towards calendars. You know, Dollar Tree has some really great farmhouse calendars. I was gifted a whole bunch just in the last 6 months, and I love them so much. And I can't wait to get back to crafting. I know exactly what I want to do with a whole pack of them. But so I have a bunch of calendars from years and years ago, as a matter of fact. I have some from like 2017 even, that I've just been parts of calendars, we should say, because we've used parts of them and we say parts of them. So but they fit really great in these 12 by 12 boxes. The calendars have come in all different sizes over the years, and no matter what size calendar is from the Dollar Tree, they all seem to fit into these 12 by 12 boxes, which works out really good. Another one we're going to do is I have so my scrapbook paper I have in like 8.5 by 11s, and I also have the 12 by 12s. I have the 12 by 12s loose, and I have the 12 by 12s that are packs. I was gifted so many from one beautiful subscriber. Her name is Ann, and she just gave me a bunch of paper. She actually had a paper business that she was in, and she gave me a whole bunch of paper. She also gave me a bunch of stuff for my Harry Potter party, which was wonderful. So what I've done is I've decided all the ones that I wanted to keep that I think I could use in a project, and I've donated whatever is left over, as I always do. And then that's what's going into one box. So one 12 by 12 box is just going to have my paper packs. The other 12 by 12 box is going to have all the loose paper. And then a third 12 by 12 box is going to have the paper that's all in an 8 by 11. Now, it's very possible that I'm going to go back. And I said to Jimmy, I'm like, my organizing brain isn't really organizing really good right now, because I kind of feel like I would rather have like holidays and then like geometric shapes and then like solids. But then I'm thinking if I went to go look for it and I knew that it was an 8.5 by 11 page, I might find it here, but I don't really know just yet. So right now I'm just separating it by size. As I mentioned, this is still part of the initial dipping into the secondary organizing section of this project. But I figured this is something that we could do, like I said, without too much effort. So I did have my scrapbook paper in these clear boxes that I had also gotten. One I got from my Aunt Sue and one I got from Hobby Lobby before I found the cardboard ones. And you know what? The only thing that's good, I have to tell you, that's better about the plastic ones is they hold the pads better, because the plastic ones aren't, the boxes aren't 12 by 12. The boxes are like 12 by 12 and a half. And if you've bought a paper pad in the past, you know that the pages are 12 by 12, but the little tab that they put on there that you can perforate off a lot of times makes the pad like 12 and a half inches or 12 and a quarter inches. And they don't fit in the 12 by 12 boxes very well. They kind of like bolts the box out a little bit, but we're fine with that. We're going to make it work, okay? And trying to think, did I forget anything? Calendars. We've got calendars. We've got napkins. We've got 8.5 by 11. We've got pads. We've got, what am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something and I don't even know what it is. Well, not important. So the last thing we're going to do is, once we went through all of those paper boxes and piles of paper that we had, we going to put away anything that was like left over. And you see I have some card making stuff. One of the red boxes has card making stuff in it. I used to make cards all the time. I used to make invitations for my family and friends. I may still be able to show you guys how to do that if I can get the computer set up, or I can start filming out in the living room. I would love to be able to show you that, how you can do that with just basic computer programs or internet things. You don't need to go cuckoo loco puffs, and you don't need a Cricut or any of that stuff. It's all just like a paper cutter and paper, and your imagination is really all you need. So we'll probably get to that sometime in the future, I promise. So finally, the last step for this particular project is basically putting everything back. And the way we want it, it's going to sound silly because that's, however, but it's just a matter of like, how did you want it organized? So one of the things I noticed about these boxes from the teaching tree, is that this shelf from Walmart, which is the one in the middle, is the newer shelf. So they started making the shelves a different size than they had previously. The two on the outsides are a little bit different dimensions. But the one in the middle actually holds 3 boxes on each side, and the boxes that are in the middle kind of rest on the edge of the boxes that are on the side, almost like a draw glide. It's kind of cool. Hi. So that was fun. I actually feel pretty good still. I have a little bit of back burning, but not much. Some pain, but not much. I seemed to push through it a little bit, which was good. I guess my body needed to do it as much as it needed to rest. I guess my spirit needed to push my body as much as my body needed to rest. So I let myself do both today. We do have one more like sort of initial organizing thing where I have to like figure out what's in all the boxes before I can go ahead and organize them. Because you guys know me, I have to have everything of the like items together. Like right now, I just realized that there's a pile of paper over there we missed, and I'm not mad. I'm just happy. I found it before it was too late. Sorry about my nose being itchy. Sorry for scratching my nose. I'm sorry. I for scratching my nose. So I'm happy with I'm happy with my progress today. I think we're gonna go have some dinner, and then we'll catch you in the next one. But listen, if nobody's told you today that you're loved, you can always come by and hear how much we love you. And if you need any motivation or inspiration and you can't get it from me, there's plenty of people on the YouTubes, okay? All right. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. See you next time. I love you. Bye.
Bye.